Hello, in this tutorial I will go over all the features in Arponaut. I'll try to make it as short as possible, but it will probably be a longer video. I will put timestamps in the description, so if you want you can just go to the part you like. Okay, so Ableton is running. I will drag in my plugin Arponaut into the first channel. Voila, it looks like this. Maybe first, Arponaut is a pattern-based arpeggiator. So it's like a normal arpeggiator, but instead you can draw your own patterns the way you want. Since it's just an arpeggiator, it doesn't generate any sound on its own. So we need to send it to another instrument. I already loaded here a plug. It sounds like this. I route MIDI from Arponaut to this plug. This is different in every DAW, but it's probably not that difficult. I will also put a manual on my website for the most used DAWs, how to route the MIDI. Okay, so now this is routed. Here in the first tab you can draw a pattern. I will do just something very simple to start. I don't know, something like this. Then in the second tab you can draw your chords. So I just make it here 2 bars. I will go into detail on what everything does, but just to show you how to start with the plugin, I will do maybe an A minor and a G chord, like this. So now if I press play, you can see that it iterates over these notes using this pattern. For now, we draw everything inside of the plugin itself, so I don't use any MIDI from the DAW. I will go later over what this does exactly. But first I want to show how to edit the notes inside the pattern and the chord step. I will show you in the pattern tab how to edit notes, but it's exactly the same in the chord step. So you can select multiple notes, you can drag the end timestamps of multiple notes or just for one note. If you click outside, you deselect it, just like most piano rolls there are in DAWs. Here at the bottom you have the velocity of the notes, so you can do like quickly change the velocity of the notes. Then here at the bottom you have some tools to adjust the notes inside of here. So the first thing is you can set the length of the loops. So the first one is the beat, the bars, and the second one is the beat. So now it would be 1 bar and 1 beat. This, I'm just gonna delete this for now. This is copy, so you can copy these 2 notes, copy, and then here, and paste with this, and it will show there. You can also just Ctrl C and then go to somewhere and Ctrl V, it's the same. You can cut with this or Ctrl X. You can duplicate with this button or Ctrl D, and you can delete the selected notes with this button or press the delete key. You can make notes double the length with this button or halve it with this one. You can snap to the grid if you enable this button. So now if I drag around, you see that it follows the grid. Also, if I drag the end timestamps or the start timestamps, it will snap to the current grid. If I disable it, you have like, you can drag it free around. You can make the grid wider with this button and smaller with this one. And you can make a triplet grid with this button like this. So now yeah, you can't hear it, but it's a triplet grid. So you have 3 notes per beat for the moment. This button lets you change the velocity only of the selected notes. So now if I draw something in the velocity box, it doesn't change. But if you select a note, it will change. This can be useful if you have multiple notes on the same timestamp. You can adjust only these velocities by doing it like this. And you won't change this one. This is to go to undo something, or to redo something, or Control Z, Control Y. And then here, this is only useful in the pattern tab. In the chords tab, you don't have this last drag box. You can select how many notes, notes you have in the pattern tab. So normally it's 7. That should mostly be enough, but if you want more, you can have like 14 or 21 inside the pattern tab. But I'll keep it at 7 for the moment. So these were the tools that are specific to the tab you are currently using. So these tools are for the pattern tab, and these tools are for the chords tab. Below are some settings that are for the whole project. So they're not specific to the pattern or the chords. I'll just draw a simple pattern to demonstrate. It's like the very simple arpeggio. I duplicate 2 times. So now we have this very simple arpeggio. The first thing is swing. So you can see the swing here at the bottom in the velocity box with the gray and the white indication. So now it's 1/16. You can make it bigger, and here you can adjust the percentage of swing. So if I change this, you see here that the gray box gets a little bit smaller. So this means that the second note will actually delay a little bit in time. So I'll show. This is to get rid of the classic robotic feeling and to give it a little bit more swing. I like to do it just a little bit so it feels more natural. But you can also just go extreme. You can make it bigger, so like that. You can also change the velocity of the counterbeat. So you have the upbeat, always the first note of the swing. This one is always on time, and the second note is a little bit delayed. You can change the velocity of the second note, and this also gives like a bit the impression of a swing feeling. So if I lower this, you see here that the gray box lowers a bit. It's to indicate that these notes will have less volume. So this also adds some swing. Then you have a pitch. That's just pitch it. I leave it at 0 for the moment. Then you have mix. You can, obviously the instrument can only have one velocity, but here we have in the pattern tab velocity, and we have velocity in the chords tab. So here you can select how you want to combine it. So for example, for the moment it's 100% the chords, the pattern tab, so it won't look after this velocity. I will show you. So now it checks only the velocity of the pattern tab. If I put it all the way to the chords tab, it will look after these velocities. So it's constant because there's no change in velocity here. Or you can mix like in the middle. Then it will take the average of the note in the chords tab and in the pattern tab. You can also press these buttons to go completely on one side. If you have a certain project that you really like, you can save the project and load it into the next time you open Arponaut. So save here, load the project here. This will change everything. Voila, and these are the settings that are for the whole project. Below these project settings you see a black box, and this is helpful maybe in the beginning. If you don't understand how something works, you can hover over it and see some extra information. So if you forgot what this button does, you hover over it and it says duplicate selected notes. If you don't want to see it, you can click it away here. Okay, so above the edit box, you have here a timeline that shows where you're currently at in the viewport here. So if you zoom in, you see you are here. You can drag around to go to different sections. Something I forgot to mention is how to zoom. So if you scroll, you zoom in horizontally. If you press Ctrl scroll, you zoom in vertically. If you press the middle mouse button, you can pan around like this. And here at the left you have the piano roll that shows which notes are playing. In the chords tab, the dark red notes are the notes that are playing in the chords tab, and the light red notes are the notes that are currently being outputted. In the pattern tab, you can see which notes are being played in the chords tab, and the red notes indicate which note is playing. Above the timeline, you see some settings that have to do with the arrangement. So first, here at the top, you have several clips. So now we drew everything into the first clip for the pattern, but you can draw also other clips. So for example, I'll just copy this. So I do this, Ctrl C, I go to the second tab and I paste it here, and I can do some changes. So like for example, let's say I add here a note. If I press play now, we have an iteration on the first clip, and you can change clips during its playing. So if course, it's a bit weird to every time click when you want to change which clip is playing. So what you can do is use the timeline. This enables this feature. If I press play plus here, and I click and I drag, it will first play the first clip and then the second clip, and it will loop like that. Maybe let's do 3 times the first clip and then the 4th time the second clip, like this. And here lock view means that you always see the clip that is currently playing. If I disable it, we can edit the second clip while the first clip is playing. And you see here the clip that is currently playing is circled with a red border, and the clip we are editing is black. So we can make some changes here. You see here where it's currently in the loop. Well, another cool thing you can do is select clip from DAW. You see here that the timeline is currently disabled, so we won't use the timeline inside the plugin. But now you can select here from inside the DAW which clip is currently playing. So if I drag this, it needs to play. You can see here we scroll through the clips. This can be a cool way to automate which clip is playing inside your DAW. So you can automate it, or you can just control it with a knob or something. So if you make some iterations, I'm just gonna make quickly some extra iterations. So I'm just doing something random. Okay, let's do this, and then maybe another iteration that has like only this. Then you can this way you can make cool arpeggios, and you can automate them outside of the plugin. So this was mostly how you edit notes inside of the viewport. One last thing I forgot, you can select and move the notes around with the arrow keys. And also, if you want to make it the GUI a little bit cleaner, you can collapse these things. So you can collapse the piano roll, the tools, and the timeline, and you can also make the velocity box smaller or bigger. One last thing about the interface is this third tab. This just shows you an overview of both tabs. So it's easy to have like an overview of what is currently going on. So I'll just make it a little bit more control scroll like this. So now you have a better overview of what is currently going on. So up until now we haven't used any MIDI from the DAW. We just drew everything inside the plugin itself. But for now I'm going to show you how to use this. Let's say first we want to route the MIDI from the DAW to the chords. I just delete this, so we have a clean clip that's playing, and I can drag in the MIDI, let's say chords MIDI or something Okay, this looks good. So we have these chords inside of our DAW that are playing, and they get sent to the chord here. So it's like that these chords are inside of the chord step. And they use this pattern to arpeggiate over. This is a very powerful feature because you can, for example, I just duplicate the Arponaut. I say I want a MIDI from this clip also in the second Arponaut. So I'll select Arponaut 1 in, and then here in the second Arponaut, I want to create, for example, a bass line. I do like something simple. And I route it to this bass I have set up. So if I do play now, it's not working. I do. We have a plug and a bass playing. I'll just route these chords without the arpeggio to a pad. For example, this one. And we have like a whole arrangement that is playing just from the single clip. So this can be changed by another clip and everything will update automatically. So let's say I draw another clip under it. If you don't like these chords, you can just press the next clip. Can play with these chords until you like something without doing and the plug and the bass and the pad, changing manually all the chords. That is the power of this arpeggiator. Another thing you can do is route the MIDI from the DAW to the pattern. So I just delete or I just mute these for now. So we just have the plug on this one. Yeah, I just drag the MIDI clip for now on here. I'll explain later how this exactly works. But now we have the chords inside the chord step, and we send the MIDI from the DAW to the pattern tab. So here I just delete this. And now if I'm going to search for an arpeggiator MIDI clip. Like this. Now these notes from here will get sent to the pattern tab. So you can create really fast iterations that you won't, or you don't come up with yourself. So you can just draw multiple. Voilà. And of course, since it's just MIDI being played in the DAW, you can also just use any MIDI keyboard. So for example, I won't use this MIDI clip, but if I play now nothing gets outputted, but if I press you can play piano and actually always be in key with the chords that are playing in the chord step. The same goes for the chord step. You can, if I do just delete this MIDI da to here, and I draw to here, I just draw a quick arpeggio. So now nothing is playing in the chord step. I route the MIDI from the da to the chords, and if I play now a chord on the keyboard, it starts iterating over it. Voilà. So now I'm gonna talk a bit about the ways to get MIDI inside of the plugin or outside of the plugin. So let's say I want this MIDI clip inside the chord step. You can just drag any MIDI clip inside, and the length of the clip will automatically update. So if I, yeah, these are all 8 bars. Maybe, yeah, all these clips are 8 bars, but they automatically update. You can also drag just from your folder system on your PC, MIDI files in. Dragging clips inside the DAW itself doesn't work always. So here we have a clip, but because this is specific to Ableton, it's not really a MIDI clip. So if you want to record, for example, this, you can just delete these, and this is 8 bars long, so this is already good. I press the record button, and if I play now, oh, I need to enable the clip, of course. You can see that the clip gets recorded inside of the plugin. So this is a way to get these clips inside the plugin. You can either drag a MIDI file or record it from the DAW. To record the output of the arpeggiator, you can just, I'm just going to do it like this. Like this. You can just record on the channel of the instrument. So like this. So the last thing in this tutorial is about randomization. For the moment I just disabled MIDI from the DAW. I'm going to clean also this up. So no MIDI gets sent to the plugin. We have chords here and we have a pattern here. The thing about arpeggios is often that it sounds like very robotic. To make this more human-like, we already talked about changing velocities. And adding some swing. But to make it more real, because now these velocities are linear decreasing and linear increasing, to make it less boring, you can right-click on the velocity box and randomize the velocities. So you can randomize relative. So relative means that it's gonna change the velocity from the current velocity minus 20 until plus 20. So you can select here different randomizations. You see that the red bar here in the middle is the original velocity, and then the red long bar is the current randomized velocity from this seed. And you can also see the range in between which two velocities it will be. So you see like this is relative. It randomizes it relative to its original velocity. You can also say absolute, and then let's say, then you randomize it between absolute values. So everything now will be between 65 and 117 velocity. So if we can listen to it. You can play with it until you find something that you like. You can also select only selected. So now it will randomize only the selected nodes. So only these two get randomized for the moment. I'm gonna accept this randomization. Okay, if you press cancel, it just gets back to the original nodes. So now we already have a little bit more natural feeling arpeggio. So to make it even feel more natural, you can also randomize the timestamps. I'm just gonna make this a bit bigger. If you right click on the viewport, you see here a similar overlay as in the velocity randomization. So you have here several options to randomize the begin and end timestamps of the node. So first explain here the randomize option. You have again the same thing with the seed. If you increase it, you get different randomizations until something you like. Here you can select how far before the node the beginning of the range is, and here how much it can be delayed. So if you only want to randomize it after the current timestamp, you can set this to 0 and do this like this. You can do whatever you want. You just see here the boxes in which range it will be randomized. You can make it even bigger if you increase here the grid size. Then you have a bigger range. For now, I keep it like maybe to here. And if you play then, maybe make it a big like this. I just like to add a little bit of randomization so it's not perfect on the beat. I like this. You can also just only select the only to the first. So if you only have this button selected, it will only change the start timestamp of the node. If you do this, it will also randomize the end timestamp of the node. Again, the same here. You can also only change the selected nodes. And that's it. And the last thing you can do is snap to grid. And this will, if you did some randomization but you don't like it, you can set here how much the timestamp should snap to the current grid. So if I press OK, all these nodes get snapped back to the grid. You can also just do randomize. I just randomize something extreme. Okay, so now you see they are all you can see they are randomized a lot. If I think it's a bit too much, I just do snap to grid. I set it to maybe like 50%. And then there's still some randomization, but it's already closer to the actual beat. So I think this was these were all the features of my plugin. If you have questions, please let me know. I put my email address in the description. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Bye.